Well, President Putin has put the brakes on what could have been a deepening diplomatic row with the US, which is expelling diplomats and slamming new sanctions over claims of hacking the US election. The Russian leader says it's not the time for such unfriendly retaliatory actions, even though such a response would have been warranted.
We reserve the right for tit-for-tat measures, but we won't stoop to kitchen diplomacy. We'll plan our next steps to restore Russian-US relations based on policy which the new administration of Donald Trump will pursue. We won't create hurdles for American diplomats. We won't expel anyone.
Well, let's go live to RT's Emily Sue to get the latest reaction. Obviously, Russian officials understandably aggrieved at what's gone on, but allegedly there will be no response, Emily. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely, Dan. And in Putin's statement in response to these latest U.S. sanctions, he has described them as provocative and that it undermines U.S. and Russian relations, adding that it is harmful to the entire system of international relations. But despite all that, Putin has confirmed that Russia will not be expelling any of the American diplomats working in Russia, contrary to what Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister, has suggested earlier. Now, in that statement we just aired just now, it's also an obvious hint that Putin is saying that he will be dealing with Donald Trump, the incoming U.S. president. And despite that he's regrettable that Obama chose to end his administration in this way, Putin congratulated Obama and also wished him a happy new year. And before all these latest developments, some media outlets have been allegedly spreading false information. Before the Russian government specified on any of the possible measures they will be implementing to counter these sanctions, CNN has cited an unnamed American official saying that Moscow has already closed down an Anglo-American school for kids of diplomats working here in Russia. Take a listen to their report.
Russia now vowing to issue its own response to U.S. sanctions and has already ordered the American School of Moscow to close.
That is a lie, and there is no need to say that Moscow denied or Moscow will not. Just say it how it is. CNN and other Western media outlets basing their reporting on official U.S. government sources have spread false information.
Well, despite this diplomatic spat and growing tensions between the U.S. and Russia, Putin, in his statement, said that Russia will not spoil the holidays for anyone. And on a brighter note, has invited all the children of the American diplomats to join in one of the important cultural tradition of coming under one of the city's biggest Christmas trees in the Kremlin to ring in the New Year and to join the New Year celebrations. And I'll be monitoring all the latest reaction from the Russian government here in central Moscow. Dan.
Thanks for that, Emily. RT's Emily Sue bring us the latest on that latest diplomatic scandal. Well, President Obama's raft of expulsions and sanctions are being seen as a last swipe at Russia in his final weeks of power. Well, let's take a look at what's actually happened. The 35 Russian diplomats and also their families have been given 72 hours to leave the United States. Alleged harassment of American staff overseas was cited as the reason for that decision. It's one of the largest expulsions of diplomats from the United States. Also, 2 Russian compounds allegedly used for intelligence purposes in New York and Maryland are also being shut down. Now, the sanctions also target Russia's 2 main intelligence agencies. Let's take a look. 4 top intelligence officials have been blacklisted by the United States. On top of all that, there are measures against 3 companies that supposedly supported Russian cyber operations against the Democratic Party.